You know, ever since I started getting accused of running fraudulent fundraisers, it has basically been a never-ending game of whack-a-mole against the intellectually lazy and the butthurt. I have proven that my fundraisers have achieved their goals, including the most recent one, multiple times over, and to still go over this washed-up nonsense leads me to take a little bit of offense. For those of you who don't know, Team Skeptic decided to go on a drunken rage-a-thon for about 8 hours, making claims that Shawn Hufford is a scammer, that I am a scammer, and that multiple people are involved in said scam. Why? Well, it wasn't because he had any proof that a scam had actually happened. More likely, it was a mixed bag of not getting the red carpet treatment to dumb fuck of the year a few months ago, with a hint of what I suspect is an overinflated ego. If you want to know the details of what the fuck is actually going on by somebody who, unlike Team Skeptic, actually did their fucking research with a sober mind, I will leave a link to Slice Barkane's video down below. It goes over the Shawn Hufford rent situation very nicely. But it seems like I haven't been clear enough about my actual position on this. I wasn't warned that I would need to explain it in such a way that it became clear to even the most drunk haters of mine. So let's see if we can rectify that. So, to be clear, the only thing I am guilty of is helping a friend who at the time lost his job. Shawn, who had been my friend years before this, had called me the very moment he lost his job, and how this was a shitty turn of events for him. I was there when he was at rock fucking bottom because friends are kinda there for each other. And when he asked to use my platform to try and get himself out of hot water, I of course said yes. I had no reason to doubt his sincerity, and you, Team Skeptic, you were exactly where I was on that, considering you helped promote the fundraiser in the fucking first place. That's right, team. You were on my channel, without me, pushing this fundraiser for Shawn Hufford. Why? Because we both considered Shawn a friend at the time, and I still do to this day. If I am an asshole for answering the call of a friend, you lump yourself under the same title.
Well, I might go step away to go wash up real quick so I can get on camera properly, because I want to be on camera to support my good friend Shawn, who I love dearly as a brother.
Sure, it is possible that Shawn Hufford is the most clever fraud on the planet. It could be the case that we were lied to. That doesn't make us assholes. That makes us people who have been duped. And it is at this point that the similarities end between you and me. Because while you have chosen to jump to conclusions and have a drunken pissy fit on the internet, I have decided to wait for the information to come out and to offer refunds to those who donated to Shawn's fundraiser in the meantime. I can't force Shawn to make the 1,000-mile trip to take care of this shit. I can't force him to get it done on my time frame. The best I can do in the meantime is offer refunds despite me being innocent of any asserted crime. I have to wonder, team, since you feel so strongly about your viewers and friends supposedly being ripped off by Shawn Hufford, why haven't you offered to help me out with the refunds? I've been willing to dip into my bank account to make this right with the people who want it. Are you willing to do the same? If not, then I recommend you shut the fuck up, because as it stands between two original promoters, I am actually doing more to make this right with the supporters than you are, which is funny as hell considering you were the one that promoted it before I did. Next, the court records do bring up questions that deserve answers. I agree with this. I have also pushed Shawn to get those answers as soon as fucking possible. But in the meantime, I'm not willing to jump to conclusions that the judgment had anything to do with rent not being paid, because it literally does not say that. What this means is that I will not jump to conclusions that Shawn Hufford lied to me, you, or anybody else. Based on the research done by Slice Barkane, who wasn't drunk when doing his research, we find strong evidence that the eviction and the lease are two separate things and cannot be combined to form a valid conclusion.
As stated before, originally I had thought and argued that if the eviction had to do with Shawn not paying out his lease, then the remainder of the lease would be part of that judgment. And since the $2,110.16 plus court fees did not match that which would have been owed, then it is not proof that Shawn did not pay out his lease. As it turns out in my research, it seems that all evictions hovered around the same fee, which dispels the claim that it would have anything to do with the lease at all, just a finable breach of its terms, meaning that the eviction and the lease are two separate things when it comes to payment and the law. Of the many legal sites that I visited that clearly state that an eviction and a lease obligation are separate, just go ahead and Google, "Does an eviction terminate a lease?" You'll get results everywhere from law pages all the way to Quora, but on a smaller Q&A site, this quote from a real estate attorney pretty much summed it up. If and when you are evicted, it can only be done if you breached one or more of the conditions of your lease. Typically, an eviction does not end your responsibility to pay rent for the remainder of the lease term.
My patience has been misconstrued by you, Team Skeptic, as some sort of endorsement of any kind of fraud. Nothing could be further from the truth. If one day it is actually proven that Shawn didn't pay rent but instead used the funds for hookers and blow, I would not hesitate to rip him a new asshole. The call out would be public and immediate. But since we have no proof that a fraud was committed, I sit and wait for the day it is 100% confirmed or 100% debunked. To end this, I just want to point out that you have a bad habit of flying off the handle. Your complete meltdown in November over a joke livestream is what prompted me to block you because I figured this wouldn't be a one-off occurrence, and it looks like I was right. You have before and since flown off the handle against me, Fight the Flat Earth, Sly Sparkane, Jared, AT2 Productions, Geistview, and others. And it has gotten so bad that you are now accusing people of crimes based on hearsay. And I find it very suspect that this shit is happening only weeks after I had to defend another fundraiser, this time for my late friend Bullionator, and may he rest in peace. So I am left in a no-win situation. If I speak up to defend myself, I just fan the flames of drama and butter the popcorn for those who live off of this shit. On the other hand, if I say nothing at all and just ignore the nonsense, my silence is taken as confirmation of my supposed guilt. Well, since I'm not going to win anyway, I will choose to follow the path of least effort on my part and move on from this nonsense. This video is to clear up my actual position, and quite frankly, it will be my last video about the Shawn situation until we have an actual conclusion to the matter. I am done defending myself for the crime of helping my friends, and I am done with this video. I got nothing more to say. I'm out.